Good grief, episode 18 already. Spending too much of my time doing these videos and not enough doing the car, but I like doing both, so your feedback's welcome. Thank you very much for that. I do like the feedback. I know I'm doing the right thing because it's moving in the right direction, and I'm sort of enjoying my work as well, which is nice. Horses are up there munching away. Right, so what's been going on? Gonna get that bonnet sorted out. Just been grip blasting the bonnet, concentrating on areas where they typically rust. And this one's the horrible green bonnet. It's come up quite nicely in all the sensitive areas. I'm going to epoxy paint this on the inside and then lob some top coat on the inside and then let Steve do the rest of it. I was quite happily blasting away, but then the blast media ate my gun. Focus. This happens from time to time. Bonnet's painted. It's not the greatest paint job in the world, but it's the inside of the bonnet. So I put quite a thick 2-pack epoxy primer on it. And then I've put the solid 2-pack colour over the top. There's a lot of strobing on this camera today. 1 minute. It's this new light up here. It flickers. That one done. That one does. Right, okay. So now I know. Yeah, so sorry guys, you have to put up with the strobing. So it's come up, it's acceptable for the inside of a bonnet. I'm obviously just letting it go off at the moment. It's going to not touch it really till tomorrow, then I'm going to put it on the car. The other side of it I've not done anything with at all. It's still foul green. I might tip it over the other way, flat it all back, get a primer on it and see what happens. Or I might not. I mean, if I flatted that, then it would have come out better. So this one I did flat. I'm just waiting for the paint to go off so I can polish it back. And it's looking better. I've done the bonnet hinges too. So bonnet hinges are there. So now threaded rod has finally arrived. So yes, the threaded rod, the 3/16 UNF or 1032 as I think it's known in engineering circles rod, has arrived. I've fixed my carb ends on it now. And now we're going to, I think, get this thing tuned up because I've got both carburetors working. I can do a balance on both of them now. Actually just lock those nuts in place. Then we can give it a go, warm it up. This is a piston, dashpot piston that I pulled out of another car. That's the side that faces the throttle opening. This is the piston out of the carbs that are on that car. And you can see it's had a fair amount of pre-ignition, a lot of heat in the inlet manifold on this this carburetor. So I'm going to have to get another pair of these. I was hoping that these would be in better shape, and they are to a certain extent. So I'm going to get both of these, polish them up, put the needles, because these needles look a bit shagged. Put the needles from that into that. That's fine. Change the diaphragms over, although the diaphragms actually look in pretty good shape. So this is the problem. You get these these are used old stock diaphragms, and I can feel how compliant that rubber is. Feels good. This one is just nowhere near as nice feeling. So these newer ones, they're going to wear out a little bit quicker. Right, so let me now, so just a case of getting the needle out, swapping the needle over, and I'll just lob these bits back into this set of, it's basically taking them out of this set of carburetors, which came off the bobtail originally, and they're not in bad shape. If they were cleaned up, I probably would have used them. They could just do with a proper good clean up. I'll take these home with me at some point and go through them. There's a lot of crap in here. So for instance, some things like, that's the Otter valve that lights up a light on the dashboard. It's got a different throttle mechanism on this one to the ones that were on the car. And the ones that were on the car originally, the car had SU4 or SU6s originally, and I rebuilt those, but I thought it would look better with Strombergs, which is why I then sort of had this rebuilt set of Strombergs. But because I rebuilt these set of Strombergs that are on this car before I have my tagging process in place, I probably forgot, and I do remember this now, these pistons being horribly overheated. Because of course then this means that the piston is prone to sticking. It's not going to be perfectly oval. So those are scrap. Needle's good. Those needles are coming out. So I've got the carbs linked up. The carbs are all linked up and they're balanced. Irritatingly, the fuel gauge doesn't work. I've just logged 15 litres, nearly 20 litres of PES into it, and it's not registered. So I'll need to check out on that. The temperature gauge is working nicely. I've got the idle speed set quite high at the moment. So around the 1750 RPM mark. The main reason is I'm trying to bed these bloody tappets in. These hydraulic tappets should be silent. And you can hear there's about 2 or 3 that are out. Sounds sweet though, doesn't it? It's blowing a little bit of probably just running a little bit rich. The tappets are still tapping. I think that's going to be a job that's going to irritate me somewhat. Right, so that one's running at 20. I'm not convinced that this choke module isn't affecting this carburetor. So idle speed at the moment is just about 800. So let me lower that a little bit further. Basically this carburetor is drawing more air, so if I back off the idle stop on this one, it will start to draw less air. But then also the idle speed has dropped. You hear the idle speed dropping? It's drawing less air. Right, so idle speed's down to about 750 now, which is where I kind of want it. And that's drawing about 17, maybe 18, whatever this gauge is, kilogram hours. Less important what it actually is, more they're both drawing the same. This is drawing 10, so this one needs to go, I need to increase the throttle speed on this one. The idle speed's boosted up now, so let's lower the other one down. Lower the other one down and bring this one up. So we're about now, what's that, 16? I think it's about 16. Go the other side. 15, so I just need to whiz this one up just a smidge. Right, so they're both going to be 16 now. We'll put screwdriver down. They're both just under 16. Just read it upside down there, it's just under 16. And on this one, just about 16. Now when I rev him, he bogs down. Now, the reason I think he's bogging down, if I disconnect the carburetors by doing that, I rev this carburetor, so I'm revving this fella over here. Bogs a little bit, but not a lot. Rev this one. It doesn't bog. Right, okay, so I'm wondering perhaps now if it's just down to the throttle linkage adjustments. I need to double check how these things should be adjusted. I just turned it another turn. Let me turn it another turn. I didn't turn it at all actually. All I did was turn the head. Let me go get a spanner. Oh no, there's a spanner right here. Crying out loud. I am irritated by these bloody tappets though. Because in order to replace them all, I need to take the carburetors off the top. I mean, it's not a huge job, but it's a fucking irritant. It's not the, I mean, the noise is coming from the rocket gear at the top, but I know they're all good. What should be taking up the gap is the hydraulic tappets. You want to see something funny? You remember, I don't know if you've ever seen Open All Hours with Arkwright, yeah? This tailgate, ready? I'm terrified of it. Fuck you now! There's a reason I came in here. Right, okay. I don't know what it is, but the damper struts are a bit strong on this. It goes down all right, and it closes. You just have to press both sides. That's fairly normal in Range Rover circles, but it's just that, ready? Fucking every time. I need to clean the glass on this as well, but as you can see, it's just started to rain, so it's spitting. I've got these rubbers, screen rubbers sorted out. They're exactly how I want them now, so when you're looking from the back, you can't see inside the car, which is fantastic. It was just a case of taping them back on themselves with a bit of duct tape, then leaving them out in the sun all day long. I didn't really want to put any blowtorch heat or any hot air on it because it was just going to knacker them up. And that one similarly. Pretty good. It'll do. It'll do for now. I'm happy with it. Less happy with these tappets. As you can hear, they're still ticking away. Right, let me spanners one do the lock nut. Worth observing, by the way, the amount of noise out here. When we come in here, you can still hear the engine. It's a lot more refined. I don't have to shout anywhere near as loud, so that's largely down to this Dynamat. Sounds quite nice, doesn't it, in here? It's got a certain burble to it. Temperature's still in the middle, which is good news. The Dynamat's made a massive difference to the amount of noise in the cabin. I mean, bearing in mind, if I go on the other side. I've still got half the covers off the gearbox here. Okay, so now, we're in the car. You can hear me talking nicely, yeah. Now I'm going to go around to the front. I'm going to carry on talking at the same volume. This is just the other side of that bulkhead. So you can't hear any of that. Quite neat, eh? Oh, the sun's breaking through. Right. I was working on these carburetors. Right, let me get with the carburetors because I want to get these so that carburetor is bogging down. And I fear it might be this choke module is not behaving properly. So I might have to take the two screws off and remove the choke module. So I've got this one behaving itself. This is the driver's side carb. So now when I disconnect it, of course. Happy? Other carb? Dips. Now I'm going to try now, because this carb I'm really happy with. I'm concentrating on that. Just in a case of now messing around with the mixture on this one. I've not opened my tin of beer yet. Messing around now with the mixture on this one. So let me, first of all, it's gonna go a bit weird while I just engage this. Right, I'm going at quarter of a turn. Put that on the cloth. So all I did was richen the mixture by quarter of a turn. That's instantly better. Right, now let me wind this out so that the ball slips over, which it does now. Oh, that's better. Right, okay, so now I've got both carbs connected. That's better. Now I've got the mixture about right on both. I'm going to go back and do the airflow again, which is over there. So we're currently around the 14 mark, yep. And we're currently around just a smidge over 14, screwdriver. Been taken up, no. Screwdriver's been taken up, there it is. So this one's just a smidge high. Idle speed is currently, well, rest of my beer tin on it. Right, so idle speed is currently 900. 9 to 925. So we'll knock that back then a little bit. Now that's got the carb drawing below. Let's take the other one down so the idle speed starts to drop. Right, so now the engine's running at a lower RPM. The engine's now running at 750 or thereabouts, 775. $725, just go up a tiny bit. So to clear it. Bogged down again then. Right, so I've got idle speed running at below 700 now, so that's too low. So let's get the idle speed back up again. I want idle speed at around 750, which is what it is now. Idle speed 750, clear it. Better. Right, so we've got idle speed around 750. Let's go for air again. So we are 10, 11, 10 and a half. 11 and a half. So this one needs to go down. It's probably going to bring the idle speed down, so I'll have to fiddle between the two. Turn that one up a smeg. Turn this one a little bit further. $11, $12. $10.5. What I need to do is tie this thing to myself. Right, that's done that. Happy enough with those now. What we're going to make is fucking tappets. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a beer. What I did notice just now is there was quite a big old cloud or something. It just smells of exhaust. There's no oil in it. What you can do is you get yourself a relatively clean bit of tissue paper. That's not really, but you're just really looking, because this is the thing we've read on, you don't want to be touching the metal. Yeah, there's no oil on that. It doesn't smell of oil, it just smells of exhaust. But when I just revved it just now, that's oil, but that's coming down from the valve stems. That's irritating. Oh dear. Mildly distracted with diff lock plungers, and I can't get the circuit on the light bulb that's inside the diff lock plunger working on the project car for one reason or another. So I've just come to rob one. This one appeared to have the easiest access because someone's already been round the transmission tunnel with an angle grinder. Not me! Anyway, that'll need welding back up. And this is the one I've robbed the centre gear stick surround from as well. Yes, right, okay, having robbed that, let's go and try out the circuit on this one and see if it works. One of the important things about a project of this sort of size is that when you meet an obstacle, such as the engine blowing a load of oil out of the exhaust, which it shouldn't be, the best thing to do is to move on to something else while you're thinking about what's going on. So yesterday, in the depths of depression and fed upness, I did a load of work really mainly around these corners. So I managed to salvage one of these. Thank you, Red Shed. Red Shed surrendered one. And the other one I got from one of the cars in the field. Now, two of the legs were broken off it, so I've had to put a pop rivet on each corner. Sorry about this fucking strobing, this light's useless. I'm going to have to paint the heads of these pot rivets black until I can find a better unit. Now these panels have gone on really nicely and I'm well chuffed with them. I've got the fuel filler, which is all painted nicely and ready to go on. Bum, bum, bum. Now look at that for a paint job. That's alright now. That's alright for out of the gun. I haven't even flashed it back yet. Well, that's pretty much straight out of the gun. So, yeah, my painting skills are improving. I've got the number plates. The number plates arrived, so I'm going to pop those on as well. Get those all sorted out. I need to sort out the number plate lights because they're just a mess. But I think I've got to the bottom of the engine blowing oil problem. So, when an engine is reciprocating, i.e. the pistons are banging up and down at many, many thousands of times, what basically happens is it creates pressure in the bottom end of the engine, in the crankcase, so in the sump area. Now that pressure needs to go somewhere. You don't really want it venting into the open air because there's a mixture of fuel vapour, there's a mixture of oil vapour, there's hot oil smells. You really don't want all that lot kicking around outside in the atmosphere because it stinks. So what you do is you create little breathers. So these breathers here on the top of the rocker covers, breathers are connected via a pipe, which I'll just pop back on there, and the pipe goes into the carburetor. So the idea is it just recycles all of that smoke and smog and shit and stuff, not particularly effectively, but it does it, and recycles it in. Now, if those breathers are bunged up, and this is a fairly common problem in days of old, if the breather was bunged up, then you're going to end up with oil leaks on the engine, and you're going to end up with it blowing oil past things like valve guide seals and piston rings and so forth, and it's going to blow it straight out of the exhaust because the oil excess pressure from the sump is going to be going into the cylinders. Now, this is where it starts getting confusing. That side, all the pipes are available. A little curve, you see the curvy pipe here. Quite a curvy pipe here, so all the pipes are available, and I managed to get that sorted out. All of the pipes, bar the one behind the filter, are available. So I've just got myself a little bit of tube, yeah, and you can see inside there's quite a lot of oil inside that tube. But I got myself a little bit of tube, and I positioned it onto the breather pipe there. However, when it's on the breather, it's doing that, and it's completely bunged up that breather. So I'm hoping that it's the bunged up breather pipe that's caused the problem. Now I'm going to have to go out into the field and rob a breather pipe just so I can prove the theory, because I really don't want to be venting all sorts of manner of crap. I know it's not a particularly serious problem. I mean, the worst case scenario for this will be that it's the valve guides leaking and I need to remove both cylinder heads. I've got a pair of cylinder heads that can go straight back on again, but it'll be a bull's ache, and I really don't want to have to do that. I'm pretty confident that the cylinders and the pistons are good, because when you take the oil filler cap off, when the breathers are connected of course, and you put your hand over here, you can't feel any real pressure. You can feel it pulsing a little bit as, you know, as the pressure varies around. There's just a little bit of oil in there, but in theory you should be able to rest a piece of paper on there and it shouldn't really go flying upwards into the sky like this and then float gently down, wafting like this, yeah, and then back down to the engine, and when it gets near the engine it wafts back up again into the air. So you don't want that, that's bad. This engine wasn't doing that. Oh look, it's like the old telescope around the eye thing. So I'm going to go and rob a pipe, and then I'm going to fit that pipe on there rather than this one, because if you can see under here, let me just see if I can get the camera in there. Right, so there's the pipe. If I put the pipe onto the stub, you can see that it's bent it quite tight. And when it goes on properly, I'm pretty sure that that breather was restricted, because it's the wrong pipe. It is an oil-friendly pipe, but it's not strong enough to be able to cope with that bend. So there's a couple of ways around this. Either rob one that's suitable, because these pipes are unobtainium. The alternative that I found to be quite successful is to get a spring that's more or less the same outside diameter as the inside diameter on that pipe, and put the spring up inside the pipe. It's, if I've got a long bit of spring here, I don't think I've got a long bit of spring. Oh look, there's a long bit of spring. Now, by putting that piece of spring up inside the pipe, it will, when you bend it, the spring bends naturally, but it's going to retain the round shape of the pipe. So that's your that's the last case scenario for this, if I can't find the correct style of pipe. But that it dawned on me last night while I was going through assembling the videos for the end of episode 17, early episode 18. I was looking at it thinking, that breather pipe's crimped, and that ain't going to help, is it? I've still got the challenge with the tappets. I'm probably going to have to take the inlet manifold out again and replace all of the tappets, but at least I don't have to take all the heads off, which will be welcome. This tailgate, is looking good. Sits nicely around the joint with the outer D-post. These have gone on really, really nicely. There's a huge gap at the bottom here, but I'm going to find a piece of rubber trim that will just fill that edge up. This side's fine. This side I'm less bothered about. It's the same sort of gap at the back end, you see, that's normal. That's obviously not lined up there. This wing's going to get replaced, but not immediately. Tailgate, ready? Fucking hell. Right, okay, so the tailgate opens. And I've got the vents up on the inside there, they're looking nice. I'm going to put the D-post trim now over the inside of that, now that I've got the outer pieces on, and start fitting out this boot area. This weekend I want to really get the dash area finished off, finish that, cleaning that up, get the carpets and so forth and get the seats in. The headlining's already in. It's no reason why I can't get the entire interior of this car finished. The only thing that is slightly holding me back is I left all of the gauges at home. I'll just open this up. I left all of the instruments, the gauges that go along the centre console. I don't quite know why I left them at home, but I did. Let's do it properly, Richard. So I left every single one of them at home. So fitting the centre console is going to be a bit of a balls ache. I sorted out the choke module, that now fits. I sorted out the diff lock, that all works. So it's starting to come along. Cleaned up that corner of the dashboard to see how it responded, and now I need to do the rest of it. And there's all the other bits in there. So I'm going to stop gabbing on about it and I'm going to get on with this. I think this door does close a lot easier now. Right. Still rattles, and I know what it is that's rattling. Oh, I need to sort these quarter light things out as well. And find a compound that's going to help me fill these holes in. It's like a... I was going to say glory hole, but that's completely the wrong word. Try and get that thought out of your head. But these look nice. Pleased with those. They kind of finish the car off really nicely. Let's go. Get a proper three-quarter view. Get the number plates and the bumpers on that. The wheels are going to go on it this week. I've got a set of wheels ready to go on. So number plates and bumpers, and that really is the kind of the back end done on this. I've got these, look at these beauts. Oh, I'm very happy with those. Very nice. And they're going to sit wonderfully on there. Just need to measure them up now, make sure they're going absolutely spot on. And then that is just going to finish off back end of this car. Lovely. They're just plastic letters and they're captured onto metallic backplate. Pay about 60 something quid for them, mind. I suppose it's quite a lot of money that goes into casting the letters and so forth. Nice job, eh? That's not very good up there though. That'll do. It's fine. The bollocks. Right, okay, I've got these fixings here, which are probably going to be, the screws are going to be too long. What I might do is pop rivets through these plastic cups, through there. That's going to be the best way of fixing these on, I think. Back number plate done. The other thing I've done is I've put the indicator lenses on the front. So these are the best ones I could find out of all my stock. And they've got on all right. Right, okay, it's time to piss around with the breathers now, I think. Cross another job off the list. We're going for a wee drive around the field. And instant observation, speedo needle's a bit wibbly. It does go quite nicely. Transmission's nice and quiet. Yeah, speedo needles all over the fucking shop. Yeah, just driven up from there. Still got a tick, but I think we've got to the bottom of the oil pressure. Sorry, the oil pressure, the oil blow. Yes, it's not blowing oil now. Only when you got it in second gear, I might have to take it up the lane. I can create a bird shit on the roof.